All right, problem 1479 gives us a catalyzed reaction, and it asks 3 questions about it. First one is just to predict the rate law for the overall reaction. Well, since the rate law happens to be dependent upon the slow step, so all I have to do is find it, and that means that it's going to be based on these 2 components. So all I have to do is write a rate law using the hydrogen peroxide and using the iodide. Only in rate laws, in reaction mechanisms, can we just look at one of these steps and write the rate law. So, picking from the slow step, there's my rate law. K would be equal to the concentration of hydrogen peroxide times the concentration of iodide. The second thing, it asks for the overall chemical reaction. Well, the overall chemical reaction is going to be what doesn't cancel out. So I can see here, for example, that this, which is called hypoiodite, it is made in the slow step, and then it is consumed in the fast step. So it is not going to stick around. It's going to be canceled out. The same thing is going to happen with this, the iodide. It's in both reactants and products, so it will cancel out. So that means I'm going to have 2 hydrogen peroxides making 2 waters and 1 O2, 1 oxygen. So just by removing all of the ones that appear as both reactants and products, I get the overall reaction. The last question is to find the intermediate. Well, an intermediate is something which is formed in one place and then consumed before you get to the end of the reaction. So that is our hypoiodate. It is an intermediate. Now, although the question doesn't ask it, this is probably a good place to look at the difference between intermediates and catalysts. So the intermediate, as we already said, it is created as a product, and then later on it gets used up as a reactant. So it is not at the end of the reaction, but it matters when it was formed. Contrasting that with a catalyst, there's a catalyst because it is present at the beginning, disappears during the reaction, but then gets reformed at the end. So, one more way of talking about it, the catalyst is present at the beginning and the end, but the intermediate only exists between the first set of reactants and the final set of products.